So I'd really like to see you, Dan, just like instead of coming back as soon as you see them TP, just start setting up behind them, right? I mean, they gave up all this like free map control, so just like go kill the TP, go set up behind them, right? If any of them try to back up across the bridge, you're ready to boop, right? Or at least you come in, you come in from behind, push them out, and into your team spam, right? But if you just play on the backside of point, or on the backside of like your team's map control, you're not really doing anything, right? And anything you do at this point will be more telegraphed than if like they're trying to like get their bearings still from after the TP. Right, you take poke, you have to grab a mega. Right, again, they can see everything you're doing. You roll into a fire strike. That's awkward. I think just in general, you're playing too much in front of them, right? And not enough like side / behind them, right? So like, I know you messed up your boop and you probably meant to like keep going or something, or I don't know exactly what your plan was. But like, if at all possible, you just want to stay on like this outside like, I don't know what you call this, rafters, balcony, catwalk. You just want to chill on this part of the map generally. This is fine though. Hey Mad Dog, what's up? It's been a while. Doing alright, just doing some VOD reviews. This is good, just controlling the bridge, just watching them. Getting ready for a sim TP as well. You might want to just keep a hook already connected, like probably like right here. And then if like it turns out they're going for a sim TP, you can like I'm pretty sure there's a grapple that'll let you both hit the bridge and also like hit the window if they like TP into it. So something to like try and figure out, I guess, on your own in testing. I don't know exactly where that'd be, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. I find playing tank a ton of fun. It was more fun than DPS. Yeah, tank just has a lot of control over like the flow of the game. So DPS sometimes you're at the mercy of your tanks to actually do things. This is good though. I like where you're setting up. You're just waiting. Careful though, good McCrees, instead of standing here, they'll like walk out over here to shoot you and to just like check this angle. So like just keep in mind, like don't like be overcommitted to looking here, that you ignore this, because if you get shot here, this either forces you to play early when you don't want to, or forces you back up and then like either like set up back on the other side, in which case again this is a smaller amount of time for him to rotate than the other way around. So you can easily switch this way and just mark you again, and do the same, or they just walk in for free while you're rotating, right? And both the outcomes are bad. So just be careful of this, right? Again, like maps are not won or lost on main, right? Your job is just to make main really miserable if they decide to go that way, which they are. So I mean, this is pretty free for you. I've just been blocking Zarya. Not a great her. Yeah, Zarya's really fun. Oh, the boop. Oh, how did that not kill anyone? That's the boop nerf right there. Feels bad. Yeah, I just don't really like going in from the front like this. It's super risky. It doesn't get a whole lot done, to be honest. I mean, it builds you a lot of damage, but I'd only like to see you going in like this if you have mines right now, right? If you're planning to mines this at this moment, I'd like this play a lot more, but like, I don't think you're actually intending to right now. So this play becomes really awkward. You take a lot of damage, and you haven't found a use for your slam yet. Yeah, that boop in the Rhine is like not very good. This is just like one of the instances where you're over focusing on tanks. Like booping the Rhine out is okay, but it's not great, especially when your team doesn't have like a lot of damage already shooting at him, and his shield's not like cracking or something. Because like not only did your boop get nerfed, but he's also more resistant to boops, so it kind of sucks. Yeah, I just don't really like how you go in from the front, right? Like it just causes a lot of problems where like maybe the Rookie flashes you, etc., right? I just want you to like sync up with Gabe, right? Get Gabe going in from one side, you go in from the other, right? And then this play, even if one of you gets stunned, this McCree either has beat force, so you probably kill him, and you take a lot less damage on the way in. And if the McCree doesn't stun you, you get a free mines, right? So yeah, you're running all the way out to grab Mega. You probably didn't need to. 400 health is probably enough. Those mines were not the best. The big thing is like, you know, the wall. Yeah, you're just consistently running in from the front all the time. It's causing you to take a lot of extra damage, and then you have to like run away back to your team every time as a result. I'm pretty sure if you jumped over this like gap, just like ball form jumped over, you could probably slam this side as well, and that's probably dead McCree. So in that case there, I know you're trying to go for the roll through, but I think if you held your grapple half a second longer, or not half a second longer, but if you held your grapple there, you could just like when they boop you back here, you can just get another fireball. I think you let go of the grapple probably a little bit too early, like earlier than you had to, right? As a result, like you missed the opportunity to get a second boop, right? It's not really that big though. Like the core concept of what you're doing was fine. So yeah, it's coordinate engage, going in with Gabe at the same time. He gets a pulse bomb. You guys clean house, so concept was fine. Yeah, so you go in from the front, you get flashbang, even with, oh my gosh. Even with the massive shield, right? You lost all of it, right? And now you're running back for a mega, right? And this again, this is like the problem with going in like from the front. In this case, like yeah.
Heroes never die.
Oh. Another issue with the front, right? You just got the mega, and now all their health is gone again. Feels bad. They never extend though, so we're chilling. Oh. Trying to dodge that one. Nice mines. Yeah, once you're in a fight, you usually play it like fine. Like that's another example of a boop that you didn't really have to do, right? You could just shot in the back and probably wouldn't better, and you would have a grapple cooldown. But like once you're in a fight, and you're playing like the scenario out, you play it fine. You just kind of approach from the front too much. You focus tanks a little bit too much. What rank is this? This is a 2.9k scrim. Got him. Oh, awkward. Again, from the front, right? So you're lucky. You're kind of lucky you didn't get CC'd there. And then you also mess up Ryan's flux. Again, like you're so focused on this core right here that you're not watching this McCree, right? Again, priorities, right? This is the priority. This guy's the guy who's fighting for map control and on the map, right? These guys are all just on point together, right? So yeah, sure they're going to kill Ryan, but you can't actually stop them from killing Ryan. So like, why bother? Kill this guy first, right? Oh. Outplayed. Side note, you can grab shields while you're what is it? In ball form. So you could have grabbed shields when you're at 200 health, when spinning, and you could still like, you know, you could be not dying basically. That's good. He tried for it again. He wanted another one. If you see that TP coming up, and you can figure out a way to fireball that quickly, that boop almost always kills somebody. So something to keep in mind. Actually, maybe not anymore. I keep thinking of old boop, but new boop is like a lot worse. Alright. I think that's all the ball you played. Yeah, this Ryan is I actually know this Ryan because I actually coach both these teams, and yeah, this Ryan is He's a greedy, greedy boy. He pins everything on cooldown. Alright, let's watch your Ball-Rein now. So overall, I'll recap your ball real quick. I don't think you played any more ball. Just approach less from the front as more from the sides. If they're not fighting you for map control like most people usually do, then time what you're doing with Gabe on entry, and then that way like again you have more impact. Because if they're giving you all the map control, you get your free setup. Then you need to make your setup count, right? Because normally what happens is like people fight for map control, someone dies fighting for map control, and the fight ends, right? But if they're not going to give you map control, like or if they're going to give you map control, then you need to use it well, right? I think that was the most prevalent point or prevalent point. Sorry. But yeah. Also, stop trying to boop the Rein as much, I think. You can boop Sig sometimes, and you can boop Rein when he's already like slightly out of position. You can sort of like make it extra bad, right? But like trying to boop the Rein out of position is kind of just like a losing proposition most of the time these days. All right, come on, game start. Nice. All right, that's a very early BAP shit from both teams. Oh god, why is it so fast? So normally I'd like you to play more aggressive, but you're playing a Sig and they're playing an Orisa, so it makes more sense to back up there. So you played that fine. I just think that like in general we want to avoid our Rein Sig stacking like this. Oh, you can't even see them. There we go. Our Rein Sig stacking like this. And then like I mean the Rein kind of the Orisa kind of threw by not being standing with the Rein. The Rein kind of got left out to dry. But I like overall that you backed up. Just try and back up in a direction away from your Sig. Or we just start running Orisa. I don't know. Ooh, got him. I think that was a Sonic. If you see them going around like this, by the way, and you need to get there and feel like you're not gonna make it in time, feel free to like just charge over here, right? Just like land it right here, right? If this Orisa doesn't respect you and back up or fortify, you land here. If she if she doesn't respect you, then you just pin her into the wall and kill her, or force out a big cooldown. And if she does respect you, then you just like land on the wall, and then now you have position, right? But like if you're behind on the race, you need to catch up, right? It's a relatively low like risk pin. Be careful how you push as well, right? Again, you want the Sig to push wide. You want to push at the corner, right? And then use the corner to like secure yourself, right? Or to like protect yourself as you swing, right? And if you need to back up, you just take a step back, hold your shield, right, and you're safe, right? But you want your Sig to hold the wide angle, and you play the short close angle, right? But this is like you're taking the Sig spot, so now like your Sig doesn't really know what to do, and you're exposing yourself to the whole team in terms of damage, right? That man wanted the pin again. Yeah, part of that is that we just kind of rolled on this map in general, but yeah, Dan's owning. Quick tip, by the way, if you hold shield, you can actually, if you're holding right click, if you press and hold left click, you can turn the shield as well, or you can turn your camera while holding the shield. So what some Reins will do sometimes, they'll hold shield to preserve shield while looking around a corner, is they'll put their shield like this, right, facing this way, and then they'll turn their camera like this, so that way the shield isn't peeking around the corner, but they can still see around it. It's very niche. Don't overuse it. It's not actually that important, but it is something to keep in mind in situations like this. That's a good shatter. Choo choo. I can see you've been watching Cloudy though. Or at least it looks like it. Alright, again, play cover, right? Either, if you want to play courtyard, Like either stick your nose here and hold this spot, slash this spot depending on where they're rotating. Just hold this like wall down essentially, or play behind the lion statue, right? Or play behind this, but don't just choose none of them, right? Choose one of them, and then you can switch between them. You can change your mind a couple times, right? Depending on the situation, right? But don't just stand in the open and assume that's a position because it's not, right? All right, so we're committing to holding here, but see how we're already backing away from the corner, right? Like, so at this point, like, are we backing to point? Are we holding here? We need to know, right? That's stuff you can calm as well. All right, so we're giving ground, right? Nice block. Oh, okay, didn't die, nice. I like this like defensive patience. This is actually a really big play. Just to, like back up here when like you're not sure whether or not you can commit with your health, right? And even though you have beat, you just take a step back, chill here, reassess, right? And if something happens, then you can go back in, right? So I really like this play. And you decide, okay, you can go back in. They're not looking at you, right? You got in without taking any damage because again they weren't looking at you, right? And just really good overall. Just really like paying like just watching their attention. Hammer Tech could use some work, but hey, your turn to do it to him. Alright, nice job. Let's go to Control Center now.
Teleporter online.
So whenever this happens, right? Whenever they show up like this, kind of unexpectedly, you still want to like take space, right? So don't just back up because you're surprised, right? Like your comp is also a brawl comp. You want to fight, right? So and you know your Sig's behind you, and it's hard for your Sig to like cross out like this. So what you want to do is just you want to cross out because you're in front, right? So you just take the off angle as early as you can and secure it. So if you just run over to this side, right? And if the Zarya tries to like contest it, you just run into her and push her back into her team, right? And this is like kind of the play that you see Cloudy do all the time, where he just like runs over here and just like hits the Zarya until the Zarya either dies or rejoins her team, right? And then now he's controlled the door. Like so when we control the point, they push this all the time, and you just sit here and we won the fight over and over again, right? You want to do the same thing, except you just need to make sure the Zarya gets shoved back first, and that you like again you're taking an off angle, right? Or you're off angling from the rest of the team. So like you sit here, right? Your team can play here. How are they supposed to push out of this choke, right? And you can have like an extra person shooting from over here as well, etc., right? But the same idea, right? Like you want to cross as soon as you can to start establishing the concave. If you don't establish the concave, your team can be in a lot of trouble here. Right, so this is too defensive because it requires your Sigma to walk all the way out here against a Zarya, right? And a team that might push into him, right? Like if your Sig recognize that, maybe you can do it fast enough, right? But that's hard, right? And like as main tank, like you have the ability to do it first, right? Right, so why are you taking so much pressure? It's because, look at your position, right? You're Sig backed up, you're getting surrounded, you're eating damage from a million different directions, and you're getting pushed from multiple sides, right? This is almost exclusively down to this not making this move right here. Although your Sig is not helping the matter, but like, you could have alleviated the situation yourself, right? That's not you. That pin is that's a Cloudy pin. But hey, we lived. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, so see, once you have control, right, you just sit here. How are they supposed to dislodge you? It's like impossible. I mean, your Sig's wasting a shield, but that's a different story. Like, in order to push you, right, they expose themselves to this angle, right? See how that works, right? And you just want to, like, I mean, you know how angles work. We talked about it forever, but like this, it's really important to remember this, right? Just make sure that like you establish this when it's difficult, and because like you have no problem doing it when it's easy, right? But you need to remember to do it when it's difficult as well. Oh my god, that pin is so brave. Oh my god, you got the mini as well. You almost lived. You want to aim for a squishy, right? You know there's two tanks over here, and you know the squishy over there. Squishy's over there, right? So instead of fire striking this way, you want to fire strike that way. Even if like you don't, like sure you might miss on some damage and some pressure on this side. Like this side's probably more reliable on hitting people, but this side it gives you a chance of kills. So in terms of risk versus reward, this usually ends up being a bit better. Also, instead of like you have shadow right now, so instead of chasing this guy, right, you kind of want to just like look this way and see if you can shadow them first before you do this, right? You kind of didn't even look in this direction, right? So it turns out no, you can't shadow that. So walking this guy is totally fine. But all right, he has no bubble, so this is like a free shatter. Yeah, so you're pushing like really aggressively, and then like you're not backing it up fast enough. So right here, as soon as he bubbles, just take a step back, go like step away from the Rein, right, and start looking for an angle on the shatter, right? Because you know this guy's no bubble, right? But like you walked into him, and now you're getting pincered. Do you see this, right? You're getting pincered instead of like holding down like your angle that you already secured. So you push the Zarya out, and then you walked in, right? But the problem is when you walked in before your team's ready to actually support you, so you're like, and you're LOSing them as well. So like it's a double whammy. So like once you kicked out the Zarya, right? Go back to what you're doing. You've done your job, right? And then you can look for shatter, etc. But now like you're under a lot of pressure. You get the shatter anyways though, so nice. Oh my god, if you died to the Junkrat bombs. Nice. Right, you know they're going dark. You play the same way. Nice job. Careful pushing the choke. Like, don't expose yourself to the choke. Like, you want to be close enough that you can, like, apply pressure to it, but you don't want to take too much poke from the choke before, like, anything happens, right? So your Sig is wasting shield. You've been wasting shield. You almost wasted a bit of health, right? And this could get ugly if they push, like, really hard right now, right? And that's what they're doing right now. So, like, remember last fight how you got pushed all the way back to here? Because you were missing a lot of health and shield before they started their rush, right? It's the same idea, right? So we want to preemptively, like, be a little bit further back, right? So we don't take the poke and we hug the wall, right? And then we just like barely peek with our hammer, right? We just like barely show our hammer to like hit them through the wall. And then if like they ever push us, right, then we hit back, right? But a great situation. Oh. Yeah, you know, probably not the pin. Hey, space created. That was all you. Goodbye, Gabe. Alright. Overall for your Rein, mechanics actually seem to be pretty much fine. You have like a lot of crazy camera movement though, but not sure how much that's not sure if that's really affecting you negatively right now. Yeah, I'd recommend watching more Cloudy streams. Cloudy is really good, and he's really good at demonstrating how Rein needs to be played in like pretty much any situation. Um, yeah, just think about angles a little bit more, especially when it's difficult. When it's easy, like no problem, you got it, right? But when it's hard, when you need to push an angle, like in that moment, you kind of make mistakes. So in the Zarya example, you push the Zarya, and then you kept going, which was the mistake, right? And then the other one, you didn't push the Zarya, and you just held on the same angle. Your team gets shoved into a corner. It's only the Gabe flank that saves it, right? So just remember, like, just constantly think about angles and see like whether or not like it's an angle that you can push, right? And then once you push an angle, what do you do after that, right? I think that's everything important. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. And if you get to this part in the video, DM me what 7 + 4 equals.